Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Football Manager 2013. Okay, well, lots happened since the last video. Not a lot as far as games go, but we did end up drawing Greuther first. They played really defensively. They let us control the game. We hammered it at them over and over and over and over again, and nothing could really come of it. They didn't have any chances that threatened us, though. But unfortunately, we walk away with a 0-0 draw against probably the weakest team in the Bundesliga. Not a great result for us, a really good result for them. So we're definitely be looking to bounce back against a much more talented Borussia Mönchengladbach team. But what did happen since the last video is we sort of got drew in the Champions League, and I am very unhappy with the group that we drew. It was, let me see if I can get to it. Okay, here we go. It is this give me a second. Okay, so basically, though, we got drawn, not European, oh gosh, where's the, there we go. Okay, so, we got drawn, a pretty tough group, actually, one I'm not too happy with. In fact, the one group I did not want to be drawn into, we got into with Galatasaray, Real Madrid, and Celtic, and us. That's a tough group to get out of, to be able to say that we're going to beat Galatasaray and Celtic to get in there with Real Madrid, which is the hopeful outcome. Don't think we can beat Real Madrid, but we're certainly going to try. Yeah, it's going to be a tough group for us. So we're looking at that right now on our table, and we are also looking at an upcoming game against Mönchengladbach. Also in the news for us since last time, I guess, where is it? Christian Fuchs is back to training after an injury. You see his match fitness is up to 90, which is pretty good. His condition's going back up as well. Maybe not play him next game against Gladbach, but eventually he will be back into our squad, and he will be making appearances for us once again. Really important for me to have him in here. A very, very, very strong defender that really can make a big difference for us. But now I guess it's the time to go over my squad a little bit. I don't think we have a game this episode, but I do want to go over my squad and kind of explain to you the team that I have and essentially what we're going with, kind of some plans. I'm not planning on winning the Bundesliga this year. I am planning on having a very strong showing. Maybe not really prepared for the future, but really get some solid signings and things like that. I brought in Blaise Matuidi, as I told you guys earlier, because I like him a lot. And I think he adds a lot of depth and makes my midfield one of the most deadly, if you will, in the Bundesliga. I mean, Julian Draxler is obviously a young star. Michel Bastos on loan from Lyon is an incredible player in the wing. Obviously, Jefferson Farfan's a star in of itself, and Neustadter and Jermaine Jones play really two great holding midfields. So bringing him in adds depth, along with having people like Marco Heuger, who's really, really, really young, but also a very, very valuable midfielder, holding midfielders, his tried and true position, or center mid is, as well as he plays the right side and plays kind of a holding mid as well. But he's a very good young player that we have in that team, as well as even Christoph Moritz, another very young defensive mid that we have. So we really have a lot of midfield options and a lot of people to play around with. So we have this really nice midfield. Don't have much depth on the wings. We do have Ibrahim Afellay, who is injured on loan from Barcelona, as well as Tranquillo Barnetta, who we got on a free transfer earlier. But right now he's a very high-valued player, and he's very talented. And can play a lot of positions here. So he can play right and left, can play attacking forward, either way, but in attacking and left is his natural position. But a really good player as well. And then in goal, a bit of an issue here. I'm deciding to go with Lars Winstall. I want to start him. I want him to grow as a goalkeeper. He's not an incredible goalkeeper right now by any means, but he is. He is what am I looking for? He is basically a potential to be a good goalkeeper for us. Like I said, I don't know if I'll stick with him or not, but he's. I think his ceiling is a little better like this in real life, but in this game, not incredibly a great senior team player, but that's good enough. He could play for us. He could perform for us at a good level, and if we had pieces around him, it will be well. We'll do well. With those, as well as let's go ahead and take a look at our defense. I don't have a lot of depth on the right and left side, but I do have Osuto Uchida and Christian Fuchs when healthy at my two wing back, my left back and right back, and they're both incredibly talented and give me kind of this attacking edge with my defense that's really really good. And then in the mid, I'm not even worried about the middle. Benedict Howardis is a German international, very good player. Kyriakos Papadopoulos is one of the best up and coming players at center back in the world. I mean, we're talking about a $12 million value, so 20 years old. You look at some of these stats here, great at marking, very brave, very good at aggression, very good mental stats. He's very strong, he's got good fitness levels, he's good balance, he's got good heading ability, good marking, good tackling. He's a really good young defender who plays well for us at that center back position. So, another player that I have that I'm really confident can do really well. Like I said, though, this Jermaine Jones eventually maybe we have to look at getting rid of him. He's getting older. His contract expires at the end of next year, and I'll probably end up just getting rid of him because I have Hoger and I have Moritz as well. So I have people I can bring in at holding midfield that can kind of replace him, no problem. As well as Neustadter, obviously, is another great midfielder who's pretty young as well. And actually, at last episode, I had a bit of a trouble remembering where he came from. Okay, he did come from Gladbach. That's what I thought. Okay, so that's essentially kind of my starting team. Players, like I said, like Joel Matip, another young defender. Like I said, pretty good ability. He can be a good central defender. Right now, not too bad at a 3-star, so he's kind of my replacement here. I also do have Christoph Metzelder, who is going to his contract's going to expire. I would expect him to retire. He retired in real life, and I would expect him to retire as well. But he also, I mean, he's not going to improve much, but he is a good defender. You see here, he kind of ranks behind Howardis and Papadopoulos a lot, but he's solid, he's experienced, and bringing him in, especially with an injury at my center backs, having him there is really good for us as well. Other players here, like this guy, is just kind of a trash player for me. 24 years old, no really signs of progression at all. He's not going to be great. He's kind of just on this team. Expect his contract to run out. Tried to sell him, didn't really work. He's nothing to me. I'm also trying to work on a striker future, obviously Klaas-Jan Huntelaar, with the extension through 2015, 29 years old, incredible finishing, incredible heading ability, great first touch, great at taking penalties, good, mentally off the ball and things like that, and good fitness levels and things like that. Obviously, he's an elite striker. He's one that is, he led the Bundesliga in scoring. He's really powerful. I love having him, but I need to start looking because I don't have much depth. I have Teemu Pukki, of course, the young Finnish striker. I don't know if he's going to see. It's not going to increase a lot, but he could, make a name for himself in this league. But I think in real life, like I said, I think his ceiling's higher in real life than they make it in this game. But he's also really talented. I mean, he is pretty. Where's the overview? There it is. He's quick. He's good technically. He's good at attacking. So he's here as kind of this player that he's kind of my backup, and I'm looking at developing him a little bit. But even with that, some question marks are still lying around him as far as he's a good backup right now. He's a good backup, and he probably will be a good backup for me in the future, which is why I ended up bringing into my side Luka Djordjevic from from Zanet, plays for Montenegro. He's a long way off. He's a 2-star right now. He is a long way off from this here, but this potential ability says him being an incredible striker. And I'm trying to train him. I'm trying to get this guy to go, because if this is the case, for $1.1 million, which is what I paid for him, Luka Djordjevic can be a good player. I think Zanet probably sold him. They didn't have the patience to deal with him, or didn't really want to develop him. But if I can keep my patience up with Luka Djordjevic, I think here I have a solid player that down the line can be incredible. He's 18 years old, but like I said, you saw that a 4.5-star potential. Going to be pretty interesting. He's starting to make appearances for the Montenegro first team, so he does have a bright future ahead of him, and I'm hoping that that future can be here with Schalke. I listed him for a loan. No one took him, but he's learning from Obasi. Kind of getting some experience there, and I'm also trying to train him as well. I'm working on his finishing right now, average intensity on his finishing. I don't really want to set a new position. Him as a striker is what I want. 100% of his focus right now, or 100% of his focus is on his focus versus that level here. So we're going to see from September to October how his finishing develops along with some of his other abilities. So that's basically what we have with him. We're going to see how he develops. I actually had him in the first team picture against Goither first. I brought him in the last 10 minutes of the game, hoping he might be able to do something. But I'm going to leave him in my bench, and I'm going to hope that as the sport goes on, or as the season goes on, he has the potential and has the ability to maybe make some, maybe not starts, but maybe come in, if we're up 3 or 4-0, against a weaker side in like a cup match or something, to come in and really get some valuable time, because I don't see a lot of time for him, where Timu Pukki is really my true backup, whereas though he's just kind of my young prospect who I look to bring in situations where I can bring him in, but I don't expect to play him a lot on top of that as well. Okay, so now I'm just going to work my tactics a little bit. Set pieces. Corners. Okay, standard corners, essentially. Okay, just trying to take a look at this. Okay. So, penalties. I have the penalty order set up here. Penalty order, Klaas-Jan Huntelaar is first choice, followed by Farfan. Hoger, it just goes in the penalty stats, nothing more than that, which is fine. So, essentially on the field, Huntelaar and Farfan, and maybe it might go down to Pukki. Those are kind of my first team players there that really I'm going to probably play a lot more to have those pieces and to do those things. As well as, let's see here, set piece creator. How does this work? Okay. So, corner takers, Julian Draxler is my first corner taker. I want that to be the case. I don't know. Direct free kick takers. Christian Fuchs is a pretty good free kick taker. That's why he's up at front. Jefferson Farfan, though, is another one I like to take, maybe attacking free kicks. Let's see. Let's defending. Okay, sorry. Throw in. Okay, we throw in and. Okay, so that's okay. All right. So set pieces are set up the way I want them set up. My captains, Benedict Howdis and Jermaine Jones. I'm just using this episode to kind of go through a lot of the pieces of my team, just so you guys can kind of see what I'm trying to really get at. But the thing is that I like about the Schalke team is I have a lot of value on the table. Even my top 3 here, these players are all on loan. This guy's actually loaned out, Gerardo, but he's could be good for me in the future. But we'll get to that later. We'll get more developing kind of situations. But right now, there's a lot of value on the table for me. I have a lot of value on the table. So I can look, to move some of these players out next season or bring in more players. I didn't make many transfers. I didn't have a huge transfer budget. I tried to do a little bit with it. Like I said, bringing in Tweedy I thought was a good option, as well as bringing in Djordjevic. I saw it kind of fall to me. I looked at people for sale. He just kind of looked like a player I might want to pick up. So I picked him up. And then I sold... I believe it was Marsa. I sold Crispin Marsa. I didn't really want him in my side, even though he's better than Pukki, essentially as a backup goes. I like to have Pukki. I think Pukki can develop a little bit, which will be good for my side and for my team. Besides that, that's really about it. I sent out, of course, Maximilian Meyer, I believe. Yeah, this guy here as well. Sent him out on loan. This is a really good young star for me. 16 years old, already valued at $2.1 million American dollars. He is going to be very, very good. I have match reports coming in for him, so we'll see how he does. But potential ability to be one of the best, to be the best, essentially, attacking midfielder in the future. Him, and obviously I have Julian Draxler, who has the exact same potential ability rating. So I'm really excited about both those guys. Julian Draxler will get there sooner, obviously, but Maximilian Meyer is a player to watch in the future. Having him sent out on loan right now at Hertha BSC, hopefully he'll get a lot of time there. Come back. I really want to see where he is next season. I may even have the potential to use him next season if that's the case. I really think I can use him, and I think that he can be a huge player for me in the future. Obviously, it's a few seasons down the line. But, so I guess I'm going to end this episode here. Next episode may not be against Gladbach. It may be a little bit someone else, so I'll see how it kind of goes. But I just wanted to take this episode to really have you guys be able to see my team and see kind of what I'm going with my lineup and things like that. So that's it. We'll probably have us join you for the first leg of our Champions League against Galatasaray. I guess that's it for now, actually. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to subscribe for more videos. I'm working on my Cycling Manager series. I know I don't have much up on that right now, but I've been recording that. Those episodes will be coming out in the future. But yeah, go ahead, like, subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you guys